Good people, ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite mood boy's favorite mood boy, Peanut
And your girl Prin, and we are Candid Conversation with Peanut and Prin.
and Prin. There it is. What's happening? You looking real what's the word I'm gonna go with right now? Succulent. Over
Mm,
there. Real tasty right now. You're looking real tasty right
thank you.
now.
You look pretty handsome yourself.
I mean, I do what I do. I try.
So, folks, if this is the first time that you have joined us for Candid Conversation with Peanut and Prin, make sure that you are liking the videos, hit that subscribe button, and
How inside joke, we got a bet, and I think she knows she done messed up. Go ahead. Say your piece.
okay, so people, let us be clear. On Candid Conversation, the whole premise of our show is that we bring you various different topics and subject matters, and we do our very best to keep it as candid as possible.
Yeah.
Um, and no, you did not win that bet. But we do currently, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a bet. And so we are trying to get our YouTube channel views up. Um, our goal for January is we need 100 views. Every video, 100 views. So if you are watching this video, make sure that you like the video, make sure you share the video, and subscribe so you can get the latest content from us.
Yep, that's slight work. 100 ain't nothing. That's slight work. Y'all got that. You can do
Y'all
that.
got that. Like y'all can help us out.
Yeah, for sure.
And we will be announcing giveaways on our Instagram pages. So also make sure that you're following both of us. You can follow Peanut at A Shot of Moo and a Brew on Instagram or she.writes.books on Instagram. Because we will be doing our giveaways monthly for the next 11 months, because we're not doing one for January, but we're doing one for next month. So make sure you're following us.
Yeah, got to get in there, man. Follow us. We'll follow you back, too. I like good content. Good positive vibes and all that. Positive vibes only.
So tonight's conversation is life expectancy.
Okay, so life expectancy from your personal standpoint.
From your personal standpoint. So most people, when they're a kid, they say, oh, I can see myself being this type of an adult, or I can see myself having this type of career. But a part of those visions of what you will be like when you get older has something to do with your life expectancy. So, Peanut, tell us, what was your life expectancy like when you were a kid? What did you think about adulthood and how long you'd be here?
Well, when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a professional singer, music guy.
Okay.
And I did. I still journey down that road. I'm still out there. I'm vibing with that. The boy got some skills somewhere in there. But I didn't really start to look into my life expectancy until I got older.
Okay.
So between the ages of like 16 and 20 is when I started feeling like, all right, I might not be here too long.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and that was pretty much based on my lifestyle, the things that I was doing, the life that I was living, the chances that I was taking, the risks that I was taking. So, in being in certain situations, doing certain things, you out there in them streets, you slanging, you selling little drugs, or you're trying to do whatever it is you can to survive. When you find yourself in some crazy kind of circles, you start to think, man, I keep going like this, I ain't gonna make it to. My number was 22, 23.
Wow.
I didn't think I was gonna make it that far, but it was actually all based on my personal life. you know, what I was doing out there in them streets. So pretty young. But I made it, as you can see, way past look way past there. You know, as Honey would say, my beard got high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? So I made it. But it took me some time to turn it around. See, one day I woke up and I was 28 years old. And I was like, dang, well, I've exceeded my expectation. You know, my life actually started to change. I got away from all of the crazy, you know, and I took the skills and all that I learned from the crazy and actually started to put them in a more legal format. You know what I'm saying? And my life started to change. So I looked up, I was 28, all my friends had kids, and you know, people was doing their thing. Now don't get me wrong, I was out there funning and gunning, you know, traveling, going around the world, and I was doing stuff, but I didn't necessarily have like a foundation for my own life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So once I realized that, yeah, I had a kid at 28. And here I am, you know, but that's when my life changed. So once I had a kid and I had some responsibilities and, you know, things of that nature, then my mindset changed. You know, somebody else is depending on me. So things kind of shifted for me. But yeah, my expectancy was 22, 23. Did not expect to get old at all. Didn't see myself sitting on the porch. Matter of fact, I didn't see myself sitting on the porch that we talked about. I ain't want no damn porch. You know what I'm saying? But the reason that I ain't want no porch because I didn't think I was gonna make it to a porch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But now that I'm older, I can understand. You know, being around the world in different places, I can see why people would want a porch. It's actually a piece of solitude. You know what I'm saying? If that's the proper word, I guess that's the proper word. If not, I'm sure somebody on the internet connect me. They, you know, they rough out there. But yeah, so that was my expectancy. Did you have a life expectancy? You expect to get 100 early on in life?
So honestly, yeah, as long as I can remember, have had a desire to live to at least 105. And that logic is from, you know, most of the people in my family, they've lived to see, you know, 95, 97, their 80s. And so that part of it just kind of like seemed like a given. But then there were also things that I wanted to be able to do. So I remember being a little girl and always wanted to be an author, but I wanted to have so many books published. And I used to envision myself as a little girl being in a ballroom like event, and I'm receiving some type of award, and there are various different books lined up, you know, like poster boards of all of these copies of books that I've, you know, wrote over the time span of my life. And you know, me speaking in front of this room full of people, and my children and my grandchildren and my great grandchildren are all present. Like that is definitely something that I always envision for myself. So
Interesting. Well, you know, it's interesting that you say that because now me knowing you, right, and me knowing me, in some sense, you could attribute that to what you saw growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you grow up in an environment where you see black people be successful, then you as a black person or a black child can go, hey, I can do that. It's no different from the whole Obama being president thing. You know what I'm saying? Once black people saw that, you know, a black man was president, I'm sure other black boys feel like, oh shit, man, I can do it too. But you have to have that example. So I think within the environment that I was in, seeing people die or get killed at an early age, and then actually getting myself involved in some of the things that I saw them die or get killed from, put me in the mindset of, well, if I keep doing this, it ain't but two options, dead or, you know what I'm saying, in jail. And although that sounds cliche-ish to some extent, it's actually a real thing. You know what I'm saying? What my boy, what Biggie Smalls say? Either you slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. I don't know if I got it twisted, but I know that's what he said.
Right.
But that was, it was attributed to his environment because that's what he saw. So if you wasn't hooping and if you couldn't play ball, then you was out there on the block working. Those were your options. So I would oppose that growing up in the environment that you did, you saw Black successful people, you know, prosper and live to a certain age, and you didn't think it was impossible because that's what you saw.
You're right. I mean, I'll be honest with you. So I want to say this is like my early 20s. A very good friend of mine passed away. And when they died, it was so, the only word that comes to mind is mortifying. Like, because here it is, I was in my 20s and I didn't know anybody that died. So whereas when you were in your 20s, you had already experienced, you know, like people that were your age, you know, maybe they, you know, had been shot, maybe they had died or something to that effect. For me, it was the total opposite. I had never experienced anything like that. And so when my girl Daisha, when she passed away, it was like the worst thing that I had ever heard. Like, I was like, I just couldn't even imagine. Like, I couldn't imagine because I knew that we were all in our 20s. I knew she had just gotten married and had a baby. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is just so, you know, this is so bad. Like, and even to the point where I didn't even believe it. Like, there were years after she had passed away where I could have sworn that I was like seeing women, other women that looked just like her. Mm-hmm. And even now, like, her daughter is beautiful and her daughter looks just like her mom. And I want to say that I saw her mom in the grocery store one day. And you know how you catch a glimpse of somebody? And so it's, for me, seeing anybody that reminds me of Daisha, it's just like, wait, what was that? You know, like one of those kind of, I got to take a double take because it was just that impactful in my life at that time span, because I didn't know anybody that had passed away before that. Not that wasn't an older person or a person that was sickly, you know, and there was like some justifiable reason. Mm-hmm. But now when I look at the amount of violence that our kids see, you know, like how we've got a 13-year-old now, and that 13-year-old, he knows that, you know, there is violence in the world and there is, you know, different things that are out there that could hurt him as soon as he walks across the threshold of the house, you know, like that wasn't my background. That wasn't my childhood. And so it was just so much of a difference compared to even how some of the kids grow up now.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a big difference. It could actually alter the route that you choose to take based on your experience as a younger kid. Like, the only reason I was actually out there in the streets was because I didn't have what the other kids had. And so I kind of got teased a little bit because, you know, my sneaks wasn't as fresh as the other kids' sneaks, and I ain't really have money for the arcade and all that. My parents tried; they did the best they did. So you know, I don't hold it against them. But you know, I was out there on the technicality. I was actually just trying to, you know, keep up and run with the Joneses, as they would say, so that I would actually fit in, you know, and not stick out like a sore thumb. Mm-hmm. So it can alter the route you choose to take. So I think life expectancy is based on where you are. And with the way the world is today, these kids got some this mental health thing is serious, man.
Well, so that was going to be something that I was going to bring up is if you think that your life expectancy is only going to be to 25 or to 30, then that means you don't value life. Like you have to get past that age for you to actually appreciate your life and someone else's.
Well, we can't say don't value life though. It's almost like it's almost like not knowing. Like if you don't know the benefits of saving money, then you don't value the money because you don't save it.
Right.
So if you don't know the benefits of working on yourself or on your own in life, then you don't. So I wouldn't say that they don't value it. I would say they just don't know. It's a lack of information. That could be a lack of love and a whole lot of other things.
When I say not value, what I mean is that if you think, and this is just for example, but if you think that you're only going to make it until your 17th birthday, because I'm sure that there is somebody out there that feels that way. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because of the lifestyle that they're living. Maybe it's because of the surroundings that they're in, the situation itself. But if they think that they're only going to make it to 17, then their self-worth, their self-value might not be as high because they're like, well, I mean, I might not even make it to 17. You know what I mean? And so then once you actually get to 17, like let's say you make it to your 18th birthday. Now all of a sudden you have something to cherish because you didn't expect to make it to that point. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like having a second take on life because, maybe you didn't dream about what you would do if you made it to 21. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I've talked to women, and this is something that I think is very fascinating, but I have spoken with women who they did not envision what life would be like. And actually, now that I think about it, I've even talked to a couple of guys. They never envisioned what life would be like after 35 or after 45 or after 50. And when you don't envision it, when you don't dream about what you want, then you don't even have anything guiding you towards creating goals for you to try to reach, the things that you want to do at that point. So one of the things that I noticed was kind of a downside is, okay, so let's say you were a female and you thought about getting married and having children and having a business, or maybe your only aspiration was being a good wife and a mother. I see this a lot in women that are actually over the age of, 50, and they wanted a family, they wanted children, and now those children are grown. Maybe that marriage didn't go the way that they wanted it to go. And so now they're in a place where they're trying to figure things out because they never saw themselves having anything more. So here it is now, they're at 50 and they're trying to figure out who they are as a person. And I think that has to do with your life expectancy and what you expected for your life. Not just the amount of years you thought you were going to be on a planet, but just the things that you wanted to see yourself do and achieve. And, it's a lot of women that are now like, you know what? I had to relearn myself. And I can't even say 50 because I know some women that are, closer to my age that are, now saying, well, I got married and that didn't fulfill me. And I did this and that didn't fulfill me. And so now it's like they're actually taking the time to figure out who they are as a person and what they would like to see with the rest of their life. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
And you said women around your age? There's a lot of 25-year-olds running around here fucked up, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. I mean, and I agree with everything you said, and I do really believe that it starts at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with what's being poured into you. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe you can do and or achieve something if it hasn't been poured into you early on.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, if my daughter ever feels like she's not pretty or she's not the most amazing 8-year-old on the planet, she didn't get it from me. Because I tell her she's the most amazing 8-year-old on the planet every day.
Mm-hmm.
The most beautiful woman I ever seen, or 8-year-old I ever seen. And this is every day. When I take her to school in the morning and she go to get in the truck, I open the door for her every time. You know what I mean? Just to let her know, or to pour into her that she's valuable. The door should be open for her. You know what I mean? She should be told on a regular basis when she gets older by a guy who want to come past my house and say, "Hey, Mr. Head, I'm interested," whatever the case may be. I'm gonna raise the bar. But
Mm-hmm.
I think instilling these things in them at a young age, actually carries over into that adult life. So if you are 50 and you don't know who you are, you got to go back and see where it all started, or where it didn't start. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks that it took you that long to figure it out. And for some people it take that long. I know some 50-year-old dudes, man, that they got 21-year-old mentality. But it's actually all based on the life that they've lived.
Right.
A lot of them are black men who spent numerous years in jail, right? So if your life was taken away from you at an early age, let's say 18, you got 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You get out when you're 38. But your mentality from being taken away from the world so long, out in the world, is 18. You still think you 20, 21, 22. You still trying to do those things. They haven't actually had a chance to progress and mature in life.
Right.
Their
Right.
life was stacked. They learned how to survive in jail. But coming out here is like a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it starts I think it starts at a young age. That's good stuff, man. Hopefully somebody can get something out of this. But yeah, my life expectancy wasn't that high, but my birthday's coming. Look at me now. Oh, I expect to live a great life. I expect to live day in, day out, happy, blessed. I ain't gonna say the other part. We're not gonna be cliche, but I am blessed. God takes care of me. Look at me. I'm healthy. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get, a few hundred subscribers this month. You know what I'm saying? To help me with my happiness. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. So, one, if you all have watched the video to this point, I want to thank you for being one of our valued viewers. Definitely, I hope that you have already liked this video, shared this video with a friend, and selected that subscribe button so you can get the alerts.
Ding.
We will be celebrating Peanut's birthday. 5-Star Fridays is happening again at the Patapsco Arena.
Yep.
And so definitely, if you want details of how to be present for Peanut's party, we do have a table already. If we need to do more than one table and have several tables or a section, you guys have to let us know. So make sure you hit us up in the comments.
Come party with your boy.
Absolutely.
Ha. Ha.
But we are also aiming for 100 views this month. So make sure that you are watching our videos and sharing them with someone else. If you need to locate us on our social medias, you can find me at princessdiana.com or on Instagram at she.writes.books. Or you can also locate Peanut at A Shot of Moo and a Brew. And that's on Instagram.
Yep. Check out the YouTube page too. Shot of Moo and a Brew. Go ahead.
Or you can check out the Instagram page or the YouTube page, A Shot of Moo and a Brew. And until next time, keep your conversations candid.
Peace.